Of playoffs starting isn't a 70-degree day in Peoria, Illinois, but today it is. We're here at Dunlap for round one of the playoffs as the number one ranked team in Class 3A Washington Panthers go up against the Geneseo Maple Leafs. I'm Caden Sexton. Along with me is Claire McDougall. Claire, what are your initial thoughts on this game? And I'm going to have to refrain you from answering the question that I just asked you so that we can take a moment for the national anthem.
Yes, we'll be right back.
The playing area is strictly forbidden. The officials are authorized to take appropriate action to ensure the safety of all. Reminder that there is no smoking on campus for state of Illinois and federal law. Thank you for your cooperation. This time we ask you to please stand if you're able, remove your hats and face the flag as Dunlap High School senior Izzy Hosen sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A Dunlap senior here today to perform the national anthem. Now, Claire, sorry to cut you off there, but kind of talk us through this. You've played, obviously, for Washington for 4 years now. You're over at Bradley, but walk me through what you think both these teams need to do to have success in round one of the playoffs.
I mean, I think Coach Barth said it best before the game is just to be themselves, whether it's Geneseo or whether it is the Lady Panthers tonight. I think both teams need to just focus on their own identity, play their own game, and do what they know best. And whoever can execute their game plan better, tends to come out in the lead at the end.
Yeah, this is a neutral site game, but you have to imagine that Washington is going to have a lot of crowd support, especially considering it's an over hour and 20-minute bus ride for the Maple Leafs. One interesting note before the Washington Panthers starting lineups are announced, one of the Maple Leafs starters that was just named is not on the roster that we are provided. I'm pretty sure our PA announcer said Cooper is her last name, but a freshman was announced in the Maple Leafs starting five. That's a wrinkle kind of in this contest, and we haven't even started it.
Senior number 21, Nancy O'Brien. And the senior number 25, Danny Goudet.
And not too many surprises at all in the Panthers starting lineup, Claire. Both your younger sisters and a couple other girls you played with yourself.
Yes. No, the Panthers have an incredible lineup. These girls, like you said, I've played with them long ago when I was a senior. 4 out of the 5 of them were freshmen with me, doing their thing. And, now to see Kate up there with them, it's awesome. I love how those seniors are kind of taking her under their wing, and showing her, what high school basketball is all about. She really got thrown in the fire, but they're doing an incredible job just guiding her through it all.
And off we go here at Dunlap High School to start the Illinois Class 3A playoffs. Danny Goudet wins the tip ball, and she tries to feed it down low to McDougall, but Becca McDougall, it gets stolen by Geneseo. Now, Kim Barth is leading a full-court press for her Panther defense. They've stopped them at half-court. Kate McDougall gets the ball, drives forward, in one hand in the bucket. Back to a full-court press for this defense, and quickly a whistle called down low.
You know, I think that's one of the greatest things about Washington is their defense. They just continue to pursue the defensive side of things, and I think it leads to a lot of their offense.
So now Tibbs gets to inbound it off the turnover. And McDougal thinks about a three. Instead, she gives it to O'Brien, who drives and off of a high shot gets a bucket. The Panthers with that stellar defense and not allowing Geneseo to really have much of a presence crossing the floor and an over and back.
Yeah, we see again there, you know, their defense turning into their offense. I think that's something, too, that Barth prides herself on is just their stamina to be able to pressure high all game.
This Washington team enters tonight 28-2, 13-1 winning at the Mid-Illini. A three for O'Brien, and it's good.
And she has been shooting incredible lately these past few games.
Back to a full court pressure. Becca McDougal driving her outside. A long pass trying to get somebody down low, and instead another turnover for this Panther offense. 2-on-1 instead. A kick to the corner. Tibbs for three, and she drains it. Timeout called by Coach Scott Hardison.
Incredible start for the Panthers tonight. You know, I know Coach looks a little frustrated right now, but I've played against him back in my high school days, and he is someone who is incredible at, you know, telling his girls, calm down, play with poise, and I think that's exactly what the Geneseo team needs right now. You know, the Panthers are putting on a high-pressure press, but if they just slow down, get their head up, make the right pass, and be able to execute their offense without freaking out, I think they'll be pretty successful.
Yeah, one note on Geneseo is that their, arguably, as Coach put it, best players is at home with influenza. That would be Lizzie Rapps, a senior who played basketball for the first time this year for the high school. She was an all-conference MVP for volleyball, decided volleyball wouldn't be her direction at college, and so wanted to have some fun in basketball before she left high school. Now Becca McDougal with the steal, down low to Tibbs, and it goes in and out. Rebound caught by O'Brien. O'Brien dishes it back to Kate McDougal. McDougal's is in and out. Now Becca McDougal rebounds her sister's miss for two. More full court pressure. Claire, your little sister's getting into it, and they're going to call the turnover.
You know, that's one of the biggest things that I talk about with Kate, especially as she starts to talk to me about college interests, is the importance of defense. And she has really turned it up this year a lot, especially with Coach Barth. Talking to her a lot about it, too, you know, because that's one of the things they pride most at Washington.
O'Brien from the wing makes the three. From the arc, there hasn't been a miss to my belief yet from Washington. And more full court pressure. This Geneseo offense hasn't really been able to take any opportunities, and that time it's going to be a foul call. And it's going to go on Kate McDougal, first foul call of the game. I mean, you talked about college interest in Kate, but this offense, the starting five for Washington has all four players who are going to play college after this, including two D1 commits.
Yeah, Becca, my other sister, going to UIS. I'm super excited for her. And Tibbs, who will be in the same conference, going to McKendree. Both of them just incredible players. But no, Danny and Mazzy both playing Division I basketball next year. Mazzy going to Chicago State. Danny going to Valparaiso, who I'll be able to play against her once I'm recovered from my ACL surgery and injury. But no, I'm super excited for these girls. You know, they've worked incredibly hard over the past 4 years, and they all deserve it so much.
And Kate now gets the steal. We've seen everybody on the floor grab a bucket. There's a missed three. Now Tibbs trying to find a teammate. Becca crashes in and gets the foul, but misses the shot. All five starters have scored, but this is the first trip to the free throw line for either side.
I guess what I love to see the most is the pursuit of the ball from the Panthers tonight. I mean, they all are crashing. They're all making the extra effort to get to the ball, to put the extra trap on, whatever it is. I mean, their pressure, their intensity, their effort has just been incredible within these first 4 minutes of the game.
Jaden Minart as well as Lainey Norvell enter for Geneseo. In for Washington is Ainsley Redling Schaefer, and McDougal goes 1 for 2. She now gets subbed out for Olivia Osborne. Now the full court pressure is off for Washington. First time we've seen Geneseo get to carry the ball down court safely, but O'Brien's right there to immediately start some trouble once crossing that marker. A wild pass, a little bit just a hair far, but Geneseo's able to grab it. Then the newly checked in Redling Schaefer able to make a steal to get Tibbs another 2.
Incredible defense there by Danny G'day and Ainsley Redling Schaefer.
Tibbs grabbed her 2,000th career point last game against Wabanzi. That included a 16-point first quarter. 22-0 with not even half of a quarter to go here in Dunlap. This was a tall mountain to climb for the Maple Leaves. As we talked to Coach Scott Hardison, he just said, as long as we work hard, we'll be proud. And we are going to not stop until this clock hits 0. Now some pressure on the other side causes Washington to get a little discomfort. However, they're able to recollect like the strong team is and get G'day down low for another bucket. Now both McDougal sisters waiting to get checked in. What do you think they're talking about down there, Claire?
Oh, you know, I would love to say that they're talking about the game, but no, I can see them down there laughing. And honestly, that was one of my favorite memories, playing with Becca when I was a senior and she was a freshman. Is, you know, just having that extra bit of joy on the court. You know, playing with the sisters, something that not most people get to do, but it is one of the best memories that I hold at Washington.
Foul goes to Tibbs, her first. And now in for the Panthers is Jenna Spizio, Bella Brown, one of the team captains, and one of the juniors, back in for Geneseo. Geneseo named 3 captains this season. 2 of the 3 started this contest.
I think Becca might have had some blood on her sock or something. It looks like she was pointing at, or one of the refs were pointing at it.
So Washington has to sub in one more of their players so that they can have a full 5 while McDougal is out.
Oh yeah, blood on the floor, the ref said.
Discover your home away from home at Haven Hills Campground. With camping yurts, RV slips, and modern cabins, they offer 155 acres to experience all summer long. Splash in their gorgeous pool, fish in peaceful ponds, or play the 3-hole golf course. Everything is included. Make unforgettable family memories in nature's embrace. Book your vacation or seasonal stay at havenhillscampground.com. Now Brown kicks it out to Riddy. Down low. Nice rebound and a nice shot there, but Geneseo able to get a second board. That was one of the keys Kim Barth talked about, is being able to grab those rebounds because of the post presence that the Maple Leafs have. But down at the arc, Kate McDougal gets a steal. She passes to Osborne, who's in and out. And now on the other end, Geneseo starting to force themselves in the paint.
Starting to see a little more pace with Geneseo here, which is leading, as we can see, a little bit more to their offense.
Foul on Donnelly. Be her first, and it'll be 2 at the free throw line for Geneseo. Made the first shot. This is another player we do not have on the roster we were provided. Was that Klein, I think the PA announcer had
I believe
said.
so.
And the second one off the front iron. Rebound goes to the Panthers. Kate McDougal finds Osborne, loving that passing combo, but down low in the lane, not able to connect for long as Geneseo is able to force a turnover and now make it to the other end of the floor. Make sure you stay tuned after this contest as Dunlap will host Peoria Notre Dame. Missed shot there by the Maple Leafs. Not quite a 3, but nearly the distance. A 2 is good for Spezio. The senior scores her first bucket of the contest. Claire, 26-1, 6 minutes into this contest. What do you have to be saying if you're on that Maple Leafs bench?
You know, I think the biggest thing is to not slow the pace because you're discouraged. Obviously, you know, a 26-1 deficit right here, especially in the first quarter, can be tough. But the worst thing you can do is to stop playing. And honestly, I got to give credit to the Maple Leafs here tonight. They have done an incredible job just continuing to pursue their pace, pursue the intensity, and keep pushing the ball towards the basket, trying to put pressure on that rim, as we can see that they're trying to do here right now.
And trapped without a dribble, and the Panthers are able to force a jump ball. Two starters back in Weisenhove and in Brooklyn Ruby. Two juniors for Coach Hardison. Coach Hardison also coaches boys golf. He's got a lot of coaching experience in high school, also coaching tennis and softball in the past. And out of bounds there for Washington, forces a turnover after Redlin Schaefer stepped out. Redlin Schaefer now in the forefront. And turnover, but out of bounds, so the Maple Leafs keep control. Driving into the paint is Brown. Brown with a long shot for 2. Doesn't connect, but a rebound collected by the Maple Leafs. Now Geneseo trying to feed something down low into the post, but McDougal-Kate is there. Another out of bounds, but last touched by the Panthers. Geneseo continuing to keep control of the ball. As the Maple Leafs trying to make something happen in the last minute of the quarter. Washington's defense has been superb. Only 1 point scored so far thanks to that full court press for the first 4 minutes. That shot off the front iron by Ruby, and so the Panthers will take it the other way. McDougal thinks about going coast to coast. Instead, one step in front of the line and missed 3 from Redlin Schaefer. Ball goes off 3 green jerseys, but they still are able to collect it. That just a mental mistake right there, Claire.
Yeah, I could see them trying, like I said earlier, you know, trying to push the pace, make something happen offensively. But unfortunately, they're going almost a little too fast for themselves. Once they gain possession back, they gotta get their head up and make the smart play. Try not to make everything happen at once. You know, there's no 25-point play.
If only there was. Back-to-back threes missed down here along the wing. 1.7 seconds left. You know, it's just probably going to be a full court heave for the Maple Leafs. They beat Peoria High 49-41 at home to be able to be here today. A great game for both sides as that ends quarter number 1, a 25-point game. We'll be back right after these messages. You're watching CIProud.com.
When you're training, missing a day isn't an option. At Bob Grimm Chevrolet in Morton, we feel the same, and that's why we review our pricing every day to make sure our customers know they're getting a great deal. Check out our inventory at bobgrimmchevrolet.com today. That's the Bob Grimm way.
Official recruitment. If you are a former athlete
Welcome back to Clutch Sports Media. We are here in Dunlap for the first game of 2 being streamed here today on CIProud.com. After this one, if we get hungry, Claire, I think we might want to try out the Pass Pub and Grill. They are a delicious eatery right here in the Peoria community. It's been a doozy of a first 8 minutes. The full court pressure from Washington prevented Geneseo to even get the ball with an opportunity to shoot for the first 4+ minutes of this contest. Now the Panthers taking things a little bit slower, passing it back and forth with Tibbs back in the contest, but she misses the 3. Now the pressure is back on for a moment, just maybe to fight for that rebound, and now laying off.
Yeah, we can see Geneseo switch their defense to a zone, which did slow down the Panthers for a little bit, but we can see Mazzy here taking with the fast break.
Yeah, fast breaks are hard to stop no matter what defense you were just running, because obviously you were just in an offense. You're not prepared for that. The Panthers trying to close out with 2 defenders on the ball carrier, and back-to-back turnovers is what that causes. O'Brien, back-to-back fast break
And
twos.
it's interesting, too. We just saw Geneseo switching to a 2-3, but it almost looks as if the Panthers went into some sort of zone as well. I mean, their man has been doing so well for them, especially in the first quarter, their run and jump. But here they are, in a trapping 2-3. Again, their defense has just been incredible this game.
Becca McDougal forces a jump ball down low, so Geneseo is going to get an inbound in their own offensive zone. Not able to find anyone for a moment. Then it's Brown. Brown gets it back out to the inbounder, a long 2, and it doesn't connect. Kate McDougal now going to run the other end of the floor. Quick pass to her sister, and Becca gets the bucket.
One of my favorite stats to look at in college basketball is points off of turnovers. And I think that is something that the Panthers do an incredible job with. I talk about their defense all the time and how that translates into their offense, but they are all over the basketball. And here we have, I think, 8 points here in the second quarter just off of turnovers and fast break layups.
It was a scrum for the ball, and it just so happened to be rolling Tibbs' way. Nothing more the Maple Leafs can do about that one, trying to avoid a jump ball turnover that would go the Panthers' way. A trap in the corner, gets another turnover. Back to O'Brien again, misses the first, makes the second. She has been on fire this half. It's point number 14 for her. Whole Panthers squad has been working in unison. It just so happens that these fast breaks, they're finding O'Brien down low. Back into the game for the Panthers is Redling, Schaefer, and Osborne. 3 in for Geneseo.
I'm interested to see as how they'll adjust. They've seen this run and jump 2-3 now. That I think was made famous by Coach Hersey on the bench. He used to coach at Richwoods, and I remember playing against Jada McLeod my freshman year, and they ran this 2-3, and it scared me, let me tell you that.
Ball in a scrum, trying to just find someone, and instead it's a white jersey. A fun pass there from Geneseo to get Tibbs the 2.
Why not? Show off those talents, show off those skills that you have in a game like this. Try something new.
Another bucket, that time for Redling Schaefer, her first, and it goes to an and 1. A pretty clear late foul there. Coach Scott Hardison, he talked pregame. They've got a lot of respect for this Panthers team. He's got a lot of respect for Kim Barth. Played them in 2 sectionals, both of which you were a part of as a player, Claire.
Yes.
And it's not like these teams and coaches don't have any familiarity with each other.
No, I think that's a beauty in basketball, whether it's at the high school level, the college level, but just the continued competition that you see throughout the years. Back when I played, the first time I saw Geneseo was at State Farm Classic, and they beat us in the championship, and that broke my heart, not gonna lie. But no, we've been battling for several years, and not to be biased, but it does make me happy to see the success. But Coach, the Geneseo's coach, he's an incredible coach, as you've talked about. He has a lot of experience, and I know he's the type of guy who's going to flip his program around. There's ups and downs throughout the years, but no, his program has been pretty historic.
Redline Shaver with a nice block on the last possession. She nearly got a steal there. She's still the on-ball defender. And they're going to call a foul on the Panthers. It's on Osborne. Into the game for the Panthers is Peyton Swanson as well as Jenna Spezio. One of the things that I really admired in my talk this early afternoon with Coach Hardison is that he builds the teams he wants to coach are student-led, and he's a teacher, so he wants them to just learn from each other and get better as the season goes along. You want to, of course, excel in the sport, and that's the goal, is to win games, but his number one priority is seeing growth from game one to the end of the season, and how can the team overcome and learn and work together.
I mean, I think that's one of the most important things you can bring to the table as a coach, is allowing your kids and your athletes to kind of lead the team that they're a part of, and giving them the responsibility, but also the opportunity to be able to grow within that. You're exactly right. I mean, over the course of a season like that, it's very character building and very culture building for a program.
The Panthers seem like they want a three, looking for the open shooter. Instead, Osborne pulls up off a drive, and she gets two.
Very unselfish basketball right there.
When you're in a game like this, you want to just bring that team camaraderie. You want to be able to build them up, because this is just game one of the playoffs. That's something Kim Barth said, is a new season starts today. Have to take things one game at a time, and the Panthers definitely have been excelling in this contest. There's another bucket for Washington. It's going to be a timeout, Geneseo. So, again, Claire, we were just talking, the last time these two schools met was in the postseason in 2023. It was the sectional semifinal where Washington won 58-41. But one stat that I'm going to pull up on the screen right there, Claire, is you let a freshman outscore ya. Tibbs got 23. What were you doing?
I remember that game very vividly, actually. And the thing about Tibbs, too, and she was one of my favorite players that I've ever played with. If she's hot, I'm going to get her the ball. And that's something, too, that is incredible about her. And it's funny, we just talked about her 2,000 points. She is not one to care about the stats, but she somehow gets them every game. We see her all over the stat board with her assists, with her rebounds here and there when she decides to crash. But her scoring has just been incredible, because the ball just naturally comes to her. She's an incredible IQ kid who knows how to put herself in the position to make herself open. And when I was playing with her my senior year, it was always, where's Tibbs? Tibbs? Let me find Tibbs, because if it's not my night, I know it's going to be hers.
Yeah, and as you brought up, three opportunity there off the mark. Geneseo trying to make a putback and a foul. But as you were just saying, Tibbs was a freshman back then. Last year, she was a junior leading this offense. She was a sophomore leading this offense. They've had her in this program for 4 years, and this is the end of her line very soon to come. Obviously, that's a sad mark for her. She's got great opportunity at McKendree. But all things considered, she's created a legacy at Washington where you had 4 players last year who were juniors starting, and none of them left. You've created something that a lot of people in this community know, a lot of this community love. They saw a team that got 3rd place, and they said, Tibbs plus the other 3, all 3 have incredible resumes. Going back for another run, we're on board. Sign me up. Let's have fun.
Yeah. I mean, not only Avery Tibbs, but this entire group, I think, will be remembered in Washington history for a very long time. Not only is there the stats and the records and the performance just insanely incredible, but the crowds they bring,
Yes.
the community that they engage, the little girls who are sitting front row at all of the games, all the home games, even these games. I mean, I see girls here as well. Like, it is so inspiring, and it is so motivating, and it is so joyful, as someone who used to play here, to see that and to see the impact that this group of girls has on the community. And again, it'll be this is a group that will be remembered forever. They have their names written all over the walls and halls of Washington, and yeah, led by the core senior group. Like, they have done an incredible job.
All 4 of them with legacies that will be remembered forever, as just a couple more times they get to play with each other. And I think that's one of the harder parts about ending your journey, whether it be high school, whether it be college, is that the odds of you playing all 4 together again are very unforeseen.
Yes, I mean, we'll see. It'll be fun, actually, to watch Becca and Avery Tibbs go against each other in the GLVC next year, as they'll be going McKendree versus UIS. I'm hoping myself that I'll get to play against Danny Gaudet and Mazzy O'Brien, because Valparaiso obviously is in the Missouri Valley Conference, but we've been playing Chicago State too the past 2 years. So, just 2 matchups that I think would be enjoyable for myself. But no, I mean, playing with the same girls for 4 years is an incredible thing, and an incredible relationship building thing. Like, the relationships you make with the girls you play is something you're never going to forget.
And a travel finally called there on Daya, as Washington put 5 full players off the bench while we were in that chat. And Geneseo's got 44 seconds left. They've still got all their juniors and seniors out there on the floor. They don't even have a sophomore listed on their roster, but a freshman's name was called during starting lineups, the one that we didn't have the number or name of in our lineup provided. 32 seconds to go, Claire. As this Washington defense, they really were down low, trying to milk the clock, get some passes out there. Now a drive, and it's blocked off a rebound. A fallen Brooklyn Ruby. It didn't look pretty. Hopefully she's all good, but a stolen basketball either way. Intercepted there by Geneseo. Jaden Minart. And now the Maple Leafs trying to score a bucket. 8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. A deep shot there from Brown. Rebound by Ruby, and it's going to draw another foul. Looks like that one goes on rolling. And some free throws for the Maple Leafs. First one is good for Brooklyn Ruby, the junior forward. Two seconds left to go. Can only imagine Washington will let this clock run down. Thought about it. Avery Tibbs made a half quarter last year. That was one to be remembered, but I don't think in this contest you're going to attempt that. 45-5 after 16 minutes to play. 5 free throws, none from the field for this Maple Leaf offense. We'll be right back with you after the break. You're watching CIProud.com.
The Pass Pub and Grill is your ticket to great food, drinks, and unforgettable memories. Try one of our award-winning salads or take a bite of our delicious wings. Then wash it down with one of our bartender's signature cocktails. Plus, play the hottest, up-to-date games with ME Gaming and win big. ME Gaming, the premier provider of video gaming. Come get your ticket to a good time, only at the Pass.
When
you're training, missing a day isn't an option. At Bob Grimm Chevrolet in Morton, we feel the same, and that's why we review our pricing every day to make sure our customers know they're getting a great deal. Check out our inventory at bobgrimmchevrolet.com today. That's the Bob Grimm way.
The winner of this first semifinal game.
This hot shooting game brought to you by Michael's Italian Feast in East Peoria, Washington, Germantown Hills, and Eureka. A hot shooting game for the Washington Panthers, who've scored 45 in this first half. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me is Claire McDougall. A 40-point game. I will ask you this, has Washington this season had a half where they didn't allow an opponent to get a field goal?
You know, that is a great question.
I don't think. I mean, I feel like that would have been.
I don't believe so in a
news.
half. I know within quarters.
Right.
They have done it. A half. I don't believe so.
I couldn't imagine we wouldn't know that fact. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Bob Grimm Chevrolet is one of our sponsors of today's game. If you're looking for a new Chevrolet, make your way down to Bob Grimm. Well, Claire, we've got 8 minutes left of halftime. This game is 45-5. How's your rehab going? You're obviously. I don't want to bring up what happened. Do you want me to explain? Do you want to explain? Do you want me to explain what happened here?
I can explain.
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good.
So,
I didn't know if it was going to cause too much PTSD or
no.
anything. You know.
I have done a lot of talking about it.
Yes.
But no. So for those of you who don't know, Claire McDougall, I play at Bradley University.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you, Kaden. I recently suffered a season-ending injury in December. We were playing Nebraska, and I unfortunately tore my ACL during that game, during the first minute of the game, I believe it was. And
I think it was like the 57th second.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't make it to a minute. But no, it was yeah. That happened. Anyways, yes, I got surgery recently, unfortunately, early January. Happy New Year's to me. And now I'm on the uphill over at Bradley University doing a bunch of rehab and treatment for my knee. And, you know, it's been going good. The first few weeks were tough and mentally challenging.
Yep.
But I have an incredible staff at Bradley. I have an incredible trainer. Shout out Delaney. And my teammates are incredible. They are the ones who are helping me get through this physically and mentally, as a lot of them have also gone through the same injury. And so I think having that support system has just made this all easier for me. They talk me through everything. They give me little tips and tricks. And no, I mean, my teammates, my staff, my trainer, they all mean the world to me. And I don't think I'd be able to do this without them, but it's been going incredible. And as you can see, I'm off crutches,
Yes.
no brace. So I've been doing well.
Yeah, that was something that Kim Barth actually pointed out to me. She's like, "Look, Claire's off crutches or off the brace, excuse me." And I think you were talking about it's kind of one of those like muscle size things where I broke one of my fingers when I was in 5th grade and had to get a pin stuck in it. And when they pulled the pin out, you can't move that for 6 weeks. It's in a cast. And when it pops out, the finger is just smaller than the rest of the fingers.
Yes.
And I think you were making comments about that with your leg.
Yeah, my knee was larger than my thigh on my right leg. So it was definitely a surprise to me when I woke up and was like, oh my gosh, where are my leg muscles? They're not there anymore. But no, that's part of my rehab is training back to get those quad muscles, get those activated, and get them back.
Yeah, I could bring up my game notes, but I'll just, we know enough about it that we can talk off the cusp. Bradley women's basketball having one of their best seasons in a while, their best season under Coach Kate Popovic-Goss. As you know, 17 wins so far, still 11-0 in Renko. I really cherish the line I said there at the end of the last game. Anyways, I don't know, humble brag. I don't know. We're kind of spiraling at this point, but 17 wins. If you guys get 3 more, Coach Pop is the winningest coach in a single season for Valley play in Bradley history. What has this season kind of done for the program?
I mean, honestly, like me coming into Bradley, as a lot of you guys know, we were not the greatest. We had a losing record my first year, Coach Pop's first year as well, when I was a senior in high school. But Coach Pop came into this program confidently, knowing what it was that she was walking into, and she straight up said, like, hey, this is going to be a process and we're going to have to fight, but we can only do it if everyone's on board. And so Coach Pop really took this program and flipped it around. And I mean, after this is her 4th year coaching, and she has just done a tremendous job. Like, to have the ability to not only flip a program, but to flip the perspective of the narrative as like, hey, Bradley, we're making some noise, and we're not just a team who's kind of making their way through and surviving. Like, we're up here with the big dogs. I think right now we're 3rd place in the Missouri Valley Conference, which is just incredible. I mean, I came in, like I said, as a freshman, and I think we were dead last. And all credit to Coach Pop and her staff. They've done an incredible job. And I'm so happy to be able to play for them and just to watch and learn and grow and what it takes to flip a program around, what it takes to make something incredible happen.
We're going to go to one more commercial break here on CIProud.com. When we return, we will have second half basketball inside of Dunlap's gym. You're watching CIProud.com.
The Pass Pub and Grill is your ticket to great food, drinks, and unforgettable memories. Try one of our award-winning salads or take a bite of our delicious wings. Then wash it down with one of our bartenders' signature cocktails. Plus, play the hottest, up-to-date games with ME Gaming and win big. ME Gaming, the premier provider of video gaming. Come get your ticket to a good time, only at the Pass.
When you're training, missing a day isn't
Welcome.
an option. At Bob Grimm Chevrolet in Morton, we feel the same, and that's why we review our pricing every day to make sure our customers know they're getting a great deal. Check out our inventory at bobgrimmchevrolet.com today. That's the Bob Grimm way.
Welcome back to Dunlap High School. We're Clutch Sports Media on CIProud.com. Here to bring you playoff coverage. Make sure you come back for game number 2 today, as the Dunlap Eagles will play Peoria Notre Dame Irish right here on CIProud.com. Both teams going with their same starting fives as indicated by to the scoring table. Discover your home away from home at Haven Hills Campground with camping yurts, RV slips, and modern camping cabins. They offer 155 acres to experience all summer long. Splash in their gorgeous pool, fish in peaceful ponds, or play the 3-hole golf course. Everything is included. Make unforgettable family memories in nature's embrace. Book your vacation or seasonal stay at havenhillscampground.com. Make sure you check out the Pass Pub and Grill on your way out of town, as well as Bob Grimm Chevrolet. If you want to get your new Chevrolet, check out Bob Grimm. This hot shooting game from Washington, I must say, is brought to you by Michael's Italian Feast in East Peoria, Washington, Germantown Hills, and Eureka. I'm not a local native, Claire. I'm from Downers Grove, a suburb of Chicago. But you a frequent goer to any of the places we just named, as your sister just made the first bucket of the second half?
Good job, little McDougal. No, I used to work at Michael's Italian Feast actually when I was in high school. I did dishes
Right.
for my first week or two. I got to make some gondolas or subs, as they call them, not gondolas. That's Avanti's.
Right.
But no, Michael's Italian Feast is definitely one of them. But no, the other ones, not frequent goers, but I pop in and out here
There you
and
go.
there.
There you go. Here and there. Yeah, we'll go back to talk about Bradley for a little bit longer. I mean, I'm there as a fan, as a worker and whatnot, but I truly believe that one of the reasons this team has had the success that they've had the last couple of years is because of the coaches. Oh, sorry, I had to interrupt myself. Anyways, Becca McDougal gets that bucket. I do believe that the coaches around you, Jashawn Cobb, Stephanie Miller, Ali Goss, Jahari, uh, Tatum, having all those pieces that played, a lot of them some of them played together. Some of them have known each other for decades, and having that relationship, especially with what I see in the camaraderie in the assistant coaches and in the players, it really does make a difference. Do you disagree? Agree? I'll let the actual player kind of chime in then.
I mean, the more togetherness you have as a team, as a staff, as a unit in anything you do, the better off you're going to be. And I mean, this staff that I have, the coaches that I have, they connect so well with each other. And
it's the first bucket from the field. I'm sorry to cut you off. The first bucket of the field in the contest for Geneseo, and it's from the freshman Cooper, a 3. Continue, please.
No, yeah, of course. But no, I mean, the more togetherness, like I was saying, the better off you're gonna be, and that's exactly what my coaching staff has. They're not always on the same page, but they always figure it out. Like if they have a disagreement, if one coach sees something else, they are going to talk about it. They're going to figure it out. They're going to discuss. They're going to debrief. But in the end, like they always do come together. And I think that is the common denominator with my staff, and especially with all their success.
Most certainly, if you're not watching more high school basketball on Clutch Sports Media on Friday, come down to Renaissance Coliseum. The Braves take on Murray State Sunday, and then there is no high school basketball playoffs on Sunday, so you have no excuse not to come down for the Be Bold Go Gold contest against Belmont Sunday at 2 p.m. Both games against the number 1 and number 2 teams in the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley sitting at number 3, so we should be expecting, and you should be expecting, some incredible basketball.
No, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, and we owe both of those teams a good run for their money. So I'm excited.
Corner 3 for Tibbs, and she swishes it. Even in a contest that is 59-11, you can hear the energy and the excitement from this Washington fan base. At the half, both PND and Dunlap got up from their seats. They're the next contest. They were watching this one, and now they're going to go do some warm-ups. I think they got what they were looking for in that first half.
No, I love how you bring up the community, the Washington community fans. I talked about them earlier, but I have to give them another shout out. They have just done an incredible job supporting the Lady Panthers this year. I've been to a few home games, and the crowds are incredible. But honestly, the attention that we get at the away games is more impressive. I mean, to be able to bring a whole community, a whole town, and have them sit behind you at an away game, especially in postseason, is just something special.
Washington calls their first timeout, and it allows Coach Kim Barth to get 5 newcomers down to the floor in a 50-point ball game. A couple subs as well come and check in for Coach Hardison and the Maple Leaves.
I got to give Coach Hardison some credit where credit is due, but he has not given up. I know a 50-point deficit is not something easy to swallow, but he is still here talking to his girls, coaching them, and, I think something that not a lot of people are going to notice is he has not sat down yet. I mean, he is still up. He's very engaged in the game, and he is doing his thing.
Yeah, we talked pregame. I mean, Coach Barth said it. You've said it. He's a very respected, very long tenure coach. It's 15 years in the program. In those 15 years, he's got a 255, 190 record. As a matter of fact, Coach Barth, in her 10th season, she picked up win 240 against Wabanzi. So, if my math's correct, she can't get to 250 this year because of just how many playoff games you have. But 250 very much on the horizon to start next season, as a little scrum for the ball down low and a jump.
Ball possession, Geneseo.
You know, one note that we had entering this contest is that Washington this season outscored their opponents 1,917 to 1,080. Obviously, that's a big gap, but one of the more impressive metrics is the fact that that's 28 points a game of a margin of victory. This one's going to end a little bit higher than 28, and it's the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about so much Washington and their defense, and I think that's one of the most underrated things about them. Like, their ability to score has been very noticeable and very something easy to talk about, especially with Avery Tibbs out here scoring 2,000. All of the main seniors.
Yeah, Becca got 1,000 a couple weeks
Becca
ago.
got 1,000. I know Mazzy has 1,000. Danny had 1,000. Again, Tibbs with 2,000. Like, they have been able to score, but their ability to defend is just incredible, and that's the big separator right there.
And it's their ability to just switch their defenses so fluently as well. And just, we've seen them today. We've seen them in zone. We've seen them in some 2-3s. We've seen them in man. And no matter what, they're showing. We've seen them in a full court press, and they are disrupting the offense of their opponent no matter where they sit.
There's Adrian Donald with another three-pointer.
Her first three of the contest. No threes in the second quarter from Washington, but they've got 3 in the first and the third to make it 6 from beyond the arc.
Something I'm interested in is how this team would do with the shot clock.
Yeah.
I know, I believe next year.
Yes, next year.
It'll be regulation for high school teams to play with the shot clock, and with the pace that this team plays already, is already incredible, and their offense has been incredible. But just to see if that would change their pace, speed it up, rush them, frustrate them. And not only Washington, other teams in the conference and just around in the Mid-Illini.
No, of course. And, I mean, Geneseo, look, they came into this contest with a 7-23 record, but they're in the Western Big Six. They've got to play teams like Galesburg twice a year, Quincy, Moline. It is not an easy conference at all. And to get 6 home wins in that span is incredible. Three-pointer there from Washington by Martin. This is a full 5 of, Claire, how do we put this, players that don't see the floor as much. Something we talked about with Coach Barth pregame is that, look, they talked before the season started that no matter what your role is, on the floor, on the bench, you have to be vocal. You have to be a big cheerleader, because if we have 100 fans, 1,000 fans, 0 fans, the loudest section needs to be the bench.
I mean, I think the best thing is how engaged their bench is. I mean, we see these kids who are getting in the game now who usually don't get minutes regularly, but when you get your moment, it's your time to shine. And with how engaged the bench is, with how into cheering and cheering on whoever's on the court, they do an incredible job with that, and that's all the energy that they need. So when they step on the floor, they're ready. They're not cold. They've been engaged. They've been hyped. They're into the game. They know what's going on. And Coach Barth always preached that when I played there, is, hey, be ready, stay engaged, cheer, get loud, be ready, stay engaged, over and over and over again. And exactly right there, Lainey Martin hitting that 3 is case in point of that.
And both free throws are good by Martin. She's got 5 all here in the third quarter. A minute and a half left here in this contest, and they're going to call foul on the 3.
I think that was Dia there.
They're going to call it. Looks like they're going to say won't be a shooting foul, so not before the 3, excuse me. So, Claire, where is the mentality now for Washington? Obviously, we talked to Coach Barth pregame. They're going to stay till at least halftime, and they've got some assistants that are going to stay the whole game of Dunlap and P&D after this. But where's the mentality? They play on Thursday. They either are going up against a team that is a conference opponent that they've played twice this season, once in an overtime win, the other one in a 26-point win in this building. Or they play P&D, who got success factored into 3A this season, who's trying to find their identity without Lexi Bear, but still a powerful team that went to state finals the last 2 seasons, won and got second, and this season still has all their stars, even though Lexi Bear is injured. But Washington beat by 20.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Barth always said 2 things that really stuck with me. The first one being anyone can beat anyone on any given night. The second being it is really hard to beat a team 3 times. And so I think that gives Washington not that they need to be worried about anything, but they need to instill confidence within themselves because it is 100% true. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night, and it is very difficult to beat a team 3 times in a season, especially, I mean, the last time I was on the broadcast actually was Dunlap versus Washington at Washington, and Dunlap gave Washington a run for their money. But I really think they need to take those lessons and just know, like, hey, we have to stay hungry.
Yeah.
We have a really long postseason, and if we want to make it as far as we say we want to, and if we want to make it back to the state tournament, we have to stay hungry. We got to stay humble. We got to keep our head down. We got to keep working because it is a long run.
Yeah, and again, different sports, but my father's always said in football it's hard to beat a team 3 times. In baseball, why is a sweep so hard? Because beating somebody 3 days in a row when they are able to scout you, when they're able to get the feel of what you're going to bring, when they get to make adjustments, it's one of the hardest things in sports is beating somebody 3 times in a row.
Especially with 2 teams like Dunlap and Notre Dame. Both teams are very familiar with Washington, with their style of play, with how Coach Barth does things. And you know your opponent very well. You come prepared. You have the scout. You know each and every player individually. I mean, we do it in college. Like Coach Pop always tells us, you better know what type of gum they're chewing, and that's still relevant here in high school basketball.
Looks like they wanted to get a shot off, but just a second late, and the buzzer sounds to end the 3rd quarter. 69-16, Washington leads here on CIProud.com.
The Pass Pub and Grill is your ticket to great food, drinks, and unforgettable memories. Try one of our award-winning salads or take a bite of our delicious wings. Then wash it down with one of our bartenders' signature cocktails. Plus, play the hottest, up-to-date games with ME Gaming and win big. ME Gaming, the premier provider of video gaming. Come get your ticket to a good time, only at the Pass.
Discover your home away from home at Haven Hills Campground with camping yurts, RV slips, and modern cabins. They offer 155 acres to experience all summer long. Splash in their gorgeous pool, fish in peaceful ponds, or play the 3-hole golf course. Everything is included. Make unforgettable family memories in nature's embrace. Book your vacation or seasonal stay at havenhillscampground.com. If you're looking for your new Chevrolet, check out Bob Grimm Chevrolet, one of the best Chevrolet dealers here right in Peoria. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me is Claire McDougall for quarter number 4 down in Dunlap. The winner of this contest will play the winner of Dunlap and PND on Thursday. I'll be on the call for that one. A 3 there by Ainsley Redling Schaefer, her first from beyond the arc today. And now back-to-back threes. That's Jaden Menart, the senior who's could be playing most likely her final contest in her high school career. Drains a three before it's over. She hadn't gotten a bucket prior to that moment. Again, the shot clock, as you mentioned in the third quarter, Claire, not in high school basketball yet, will be next year. But this is where you can utilize not having a shot clock of just, hey, pass the ball around. Let's let as much time tick as we can. We'll shoot eventually, but let's just have some fun first.
Yes, it was always my best friend in high school until it was my worst enemy.
So Claire, junior at Bradley, how your class is going this year? We do have one together. Dr. Dickhouse's Com 417 issues in communication. I'm confident is the name.
Yes, our capstone.
Yes,
Our
the communications capstone.
Yes, no, classes have been really good. Fortunate to be at Bradley, doing the sports communications major there. Interested in the sports communications master's program.
Yeah, there's another three from Donahue.
And a turnover from Geneseo.
Full five switch. So, okay, you know, you're a professional. You're in college basketball, right?
Yes.
I said line switch the last game I did because hockey, obviously, you have line switches, and they had a full five on the sideline. So I called it a line switch on the broadcast because it was 5 players going. Did I use incorrect terminology, or I mean, of course, it's slaying, right?
Yeah,
but
I mean, not that it's necessarily incorrect.
Right, right.
Me personally, I'm more of like a, hey, 5 in, 5 out.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, new lineup change.
Yeah. See.
I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with hockey slang.
Right.
I've been learning more about it in another one of my classes, Com 460, I believe, which is my second capstone.
Yes, the
that
sports
I'm
com
taking.
capstone.
Yes. But no, I have several hockey fans and several hockey broadcasters in that class with me.
Okay.
And so I've been learning more about hockey. I've never watched a hockey game in my life.
See, being in the Chicago suburbs, it was the Blackhawks for my childhood. I mean, I
Yes.
got to watch from that whole run 3 cups in 6 years. There's another 3 from Donahue. 15 points for her.
She's having an incredible game. I used to coach her.
Yeah.
Actually, I've coached a lot of these girls.
So they had 5 players start this quarter, none of whom started the game, and now another full 5 in, 5 out
There you
for
go.
the Panthers.
There you go.
And it's a round of applause from the crowd as if the starters were being taken out, but we're at a point where it's a 79-19 ball game and the running clock is on. And those weren't the starters. And the fans gave it that ovation. Another jump ball. We've seen a lot of jump balls today. I feel like there's been a little bit more than average.
There definitely has been.
Yeah.
There definitely has been.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going crazy, folks. We have it confirmed. Or we're both going crazy. Those are the 2 options
We
here.
could be going crazy.
Yeah, it's either both of us or we're both fine. Like, there's no in between there.
We'll never know.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll listen back in like 2 years and we'll have thoughts, but who knows? Washington brought their cheerleaders out. You know what I'm really hoping? I'm hoping we get the Dunlap band for the next game because I've seen. We were actually at last year. Me and Jonathan Michael went to the Morton Washington game in Ottawa, and Ottawa had their band play in the neutral game at Ottawa. And Ottawa had their band play at a neutral game.
I mean, I was
Morton,
gonna
Washington.
say, like, is that home court advantage?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. You know, I'm a really big fan of the band, but
me too.
I agree. You would have to argue if you're PND that that's home court.
Yeah.
Because this is technically, even though it's being played in Dunlap's gym,
In a neutral
it's a neutral site. That's the
technically.
gray area, and that's what I do enjoy about the high school playoffs is the fact that, again, this is not a home game by any means for Washington, but Washington to Dunlap, Dunlap to Geneseo, the home team is going to be Washington on fan value side.
Yes.
Washington foul, Mia Johnson.
But P&D, not a far arena either, or not a far school either. We'll see how many the Irish bring out to this one in game 2 right here on CI Proud. 2:20 as the clock is still going to tick as it runs here in the second half. Even though we have a fourth quarter running clock, there definitely is a little bit more momentum from the officials. There's definitely a let's get the ball back in play, let's keep it going. Don't want to be draining clock just to drain clock here. We just want to have a fun game and get to the finish line.
Yeah, got to give credit to both teams for continuing to play. I know I've been in games like this myself, and they get tricky sometimes. But again, the effort, the intensity has not died down from both teams, from both coaches, and again, it's something from the fans. Like, you got to be appreciative of. It's not enjoyable to watch coaches just give up.
No, and again, as you mentioned in the last half, Scott Hardison still has not sat down, and we have 1 minute and some change left in this contest. And he has been standing this entire time, continuing to coach, continuing to lead. This is going to be the final game for a couple seniors on Geneseo. We must congratulate them on having some strong and successful high school careers and wish them the best in their future endeavors as Lainey Martin drains another 3. That's her second from beyond the arc. Almost a one-handed shot there for the Maple Leafs as it's Lainey Norvell, a junior. 45 seconds left. We've got now chasing Aaron Ball with a running clock. Well, Claire, what do you think? What would you be telling your sisters, if you don't mind sharing with us, after this contest is over?
I mean, kind of what I was talking about earlier with what Barth used to tell me and my squad back when I played. But the biggest thing and the most important thing for them to remember is you have to stay hungry, and you can't ever be satisfied. Especially for Becca, this is her last run, and she has an incredible opportunity to make history, and so she just has to stay hungry and just be ready.
It's a 62-point victory for the Washington Panthers here in Dunlap as they advance to the next round of the playoffs. Ever since 2017, Washington has taken a round 1 playoff game, and they will continue that streak on the 9th year in a row to go to round 2. They play the winner of the next game that'll be aired right here on CIProud.com between Dunlap and PND. Claire, any final thoughts? We've had a long time to chat, but any 1-second quick remarks?
Am I allowed to say? Go Panthers.
Go ahead. I mean,
go Panthers.
I mean, it's hard to stop the one who has not only an alum, but 2 sisters actively on the team. Claire, you will not be here on Thursday, but I will be to call the Washington Panthers against whomever they have to face, and I will, in your spirits, be here for the Panthers, although I will be a very neutral and unbiased announcer on the air, and I am not rooting for either side. I'm rooting for a great basketball game, which we do expect to be here in Dunlap.
And I do have to give a lot of credit to both teams, Notre Dame and Dunlap, whoever, takes the win tonight. Both are incredible. I know a lot of the players personally. I know both of the coaching staffs personally, and honestly, I'm rooting for all of them. Central Illinois basketball has been booming over the past few years, and so I'm excited to see what the season will look like.
Great job for all those Geneseo seniors. They've had a great season, but it was the freshman today, Cooper, that we didn't even have in our roster, who led the team with 9 points. Over on the Washington Panthers side, Avery Tibbs scored 19. A slower day for her, and saying that out loud sounds crazy as I admit it. That'll do it for us here in Washington versus Geneseo coverage. However, stay right here on this link. Do not go anywhere. If you're a Panther fan, you want to see who you're about to face, Dunlap or Notre Dame. If you're a Notre Dame or Dunlap fan, you don't have to go anywhere. Stay right here to catch the second game in tonight's doubleheader. I'm Caden Sexton along with Claire McDougall and everyone else here working tonight for Clutch Sports Media. We thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the second one right here on CIProud.com.